Hey, this is Dave with the Shepherd School, and what we're going to do today is make a homemade Hive Beetle trap. And you don't have to get homemade ones, you can buy them. And I bought some, I'm going to use some that are store-bought, but I want to have a variety of methods to control parasites and mites and beetles and all sorts of things that could kill my bees. And so the guy that supplied my equipment down at Bonacqua Springs showed us how to do this, and it's pretty simple, and so I'm going to take a second and show you. So really all you need is some corrugated sign, and I just got one in my neighborhood that kind of blew down, political signs or whatever, and you see it's corrugated, okay, and you're just cutting strips about the size of your frames. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut them off into smaller strips and then staple them to the frames. Mine are probably a little too wide, but I lost my razor knife somewhere, and so I had to use scissors, and so it kind of made it a little bigger. But the easiest way to do it is get a line and then score it with the razor knife. You're also going to need some boric acid, and I went down to the big hardware store, you know, the big box one, and I asked them for some boric acid, and the guy looked at me funny and said they didn't sell that sort of stuff. So what I did is I went over to the lawn and garden, found me some roach spray or roach powder, and sure enough, when you read the instructions on the back, the ingredients is 99.9% boric acid. So roach powder is what you're looking for. Just make sure that it's boric acid. You're also going to need some vegetable shortening. It doesn't have to be any particular brand. It just needs to be vegetable shortening. And what we're going to do is rub some shortening in these holes and block them. Then on the other side, we're going to pour in the boric acid, and then we're going to seal that with the shortening. What will happen then, these holes, along with the shortening as a lure, will give the hive beetles a place to go to get away from the bees, because if they don't have a place to hide, the bees are going to, you know, kill them and kick them out of the hive. And so this is some place that the bees can't get to, and so the hive beetles will use this as a place to go to hide. Well, when they get in with the boric acid will kill them, and then, you know, as they eat it and they fill up and it's full of dead beetles, I just pull the staples off and you know, throw them in the dumpster. So, like I said, I just made a little line, drew a little line, and if I had a knife, it'd make it pretty easy, but I don't, so I'm just going to cut it with these big scissors. My way might not be the best way because I'm learning all this stuff. And I'm just showing you what people showed me. If it don't work, oh well. We'll figure it out again next time. So now we're just going to cut off little strips. Now, this Crisco, this shortening is going to stay down here in the shop because I don't want to cross-contaminate and end up with boric acid in my muffins or pancakes or whatever the heck you're going to use your shortening for. So this stuff is going to stay downstairs. And I don't have to worry about the wife getting into it, because when she comes home and sees that I had the rabbit manure from the methane out here, she's not going to want to take this out anyway. So I don't have to worry about accidentally poisoning anybody. and see how that's filled up. Alright, here's my traps. First part's done. One side is filled in with the shortening, and then I've just put them here on the block to make it easy to fill. Now this part's okay. If you make a mess with the shortening, you know, you might get in trouble while you get shortening all over the house stuff with the wife. But if you mess up on this end, just tell her that you're spraying for bugs. If you get the boric acid all over the place, because I bet your wife doesn't like roaches. So what I'm going to do, so now that I've got my boric acid in my holes, I'm going to seal it up. And once again, I'm going to tell you to not take this shortening upstairs or wherever your kitchen is. If there's any question that somebody may try to use that for cooking, you need to mark it or throw it out or something, because you don't want to ingest a bunch of rat poison. That would be a bad day. They're sealed up, and they're filled up with the boric acid. So all I'm going to do now is staple, you know, like in the hive, on one end staple it here, and on the other end staple it there, right? One in each super. Throw a couple under the top cover, a couple into the, you know, down at the bottom. And the bees won't get into this. It's too small for them, right? But the beetles will, and when the beetles do, it'll kill them. So I made a couple extra so they're there when I go in to mess with the bees. And that's really all there is to it. So appreciate you watching. Appreciate any kind of constructive comments. You find a better way for me to do that. Like I said, I'm learning, and I would be more than happy to have somebody who knows what they're doing give me some pointers. You can always make a reply video or whatever. But until next time, you can always catch us online at www.tngun.com. Thanks.